What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. Now, this morning we got an update in the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. I talked about yesterday the SEC asked for another extension of time, which was an extra week. We were all hoping for once the judge would deny this request, but I mean, it doesn't seem like she likes to deny any time or any extension of time to the SEC for some reason. But I don't think this one was that big of a deal because it was only an extra week. But James Filan gave us the update, and it went like this. The SEC's request for an extension of time was granted in a text-only order. It stated the SEC shall inform the court of its position on whether any additional discovery is required within a week of filing of the individual defendant's answers. The parties are directed to meet and confer as to a briefing schedule for summary judgment motions. The parties shall submit a joint proposed schedule for the court's approval no later than 1 week after the SEC's submission. So it appears that the individual defendant's answer is due April 8th, 2022. The SEC's position of any additional discovery is due April 15th, and the joint proposed scheduling order is due April 22nd. So the filing of the individual defendant's answers is the triggering event. When the answer is filed by Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, even if it's before April 8th, the date the answer is filed starts that 1 week clock running for the filing of the SEC's position on discovery and the joint proposed scheduling order. So as much as the judge did, grant the extension of time for an extra week, it's all predicated on the defendants, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse's filing. So as soon as they get the filing out, which I'm assuming it will come out either today or tomorrow, that starts a 1 week clock, and that'll get this thing moving on. So as much as it's an extension of time, it's really giving the defendants, some power over getting this going and moving along. And Jeremy Hogan commented on this tweet, and he basically agrees with what I'm saying here. And he stated, "What I like about this order, Judge Netburn ties the deadlines to how quickly Garlinghouse and Larson file their answers. The sooner they are filed, the sooner the 1 week clock starts. Also, she ordered a summary judgment briefing schedule, which hadn't been ordered previously." So, like I was saying before, yes, it is tough to see another extension of time because we've seen so many in this case, and it's been like Groundhog Day with these extensions. But it like I said, it's all predicated on the defendants, Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse, getting their filing in as soon as possible, and that'll start that 1 week clock to get this going, right? Get the discovery ending, because I don't see any more discovery needed in this case. I think we have enough facts, enough discovery was done in this case. We've been going along, for a year and 3 months now. It's time to get to summary judgment, and I believe that the judge is finally kind of pushing both parties to that end. So, like I said, not trying to see another extension, but this is what it is, right? Okay, so the next thing, there was another filing. This is when I get, the last filing is, whatever, an extension of time, an extra week. What's an extra week when we've been sitting here for a year and a half? But now the SEC is trying to basically get them to get the judge to redact some of the documents, and that's when it gets shady. Now they're trying to say that they're transparent in all this, but they have been everything but that, right? The SEC. So this is how the filing went. The SEC has filed a motion for permission to redact notes of meetings between the SEC and third parties, claiming the notes are protected under DPP. The request is based on the January 13th, 2022 decision on the DPP issues. Now, Stefan Huber had something to say about this, and this is exactly what I think about it. If I say this is a cover-up, does that make me a conspiracy theorist? Think about it. This agency always stresses how important transparency is to the SEC. Is that why the SEC does everything it can to make sure the public doesn't find out what they've been doing? I mean, it's pretty funny to see how the SEC always, even on their website, they always say transparency is the most important thing we can do, as an agency. But, this case, the library case, any case with the SEC, it shows the exact opposite. They are anything but transparent. They hide everything they do, and especially everything going on in this case. Every filing in this case, or every document or piece of evidence, they've been trying to hide from the public in Ripple's eyes. I mean, the good thing about all this is the judge is seeing all this evidence. So if the judge sees something that's very important for the case, it's harder for the SEC to say it's protected, right? Because the judge can basically say, even though it might be protected under DPP, she can basically waive that protection and say, no, actually, this is important enough for the public to see, right? Or at least Ripple to see. So, this is just another reason why the SEC just does not look good in the eyes of the public these days. They're trying to hide everything. Now you have, it goes along the same thing with the Empower Oversight thing when they filed the FOIA request to get all the information on Bill Hinman and his emails, and they said they had nothing, right? And then all of a sudden it took Empower to sue the SEC to finally be like, oh, actually, we said we had nothing. We actually have 1,000 emails that we can actually give you. So, they'll try to hide it. They'll try to cover it up to the fact where they can't, right? When they're forced to hand it over due to the FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act, or if they're sued, or if they're, if a court orders them to hand something over, yeah, they'll hand it over, but, you'll have to pry it out of their dead hands, basically, right? They will try to hide it until they are forced to hand it over. And this is why it's so ridiculous and how the SEC even can call themselves transparent. I mean, they are, everything but transparent. Forever they've been this way too. So, I've been bashing the SEC a lot in this channel, and how can I not, right? How can I not call them out for what they've been doing? So it is what it is. We hope the judge doesn't allow this, because this is, it's one thing to give an extension of time, but you can't let them keep hiding these documents, because obviously they're important enough for them to want to hide. So what is in this? What's so important about this document that needs to be, hidden from the public? And I hope we get to see it. Moving on. So I was talking about the library case yesterday, and we had the interview with the library CEO on Fox Business. They tweeted this out yesterday after that meeting. In the SEC versus library case, the SEC is specifically alleging that that because we spent money to improve the already functional library protocol, that makes LBC a security. If we had sold all our LBC, kept the money, and went home, it wouldn't be a security. Talk about messed up incentives. So that's what's crazy about all this. And actually, let's just read Jeremy Hogan's response, because this is where it gets insane, right? And this is where we talked about how the SEC is going after Riot Library and they're going after Ripple, and they've committed no fraud. They've not scammed anybody, but they're telling me in this filing here, or in this opinion that the SEC is trying to give to library, if you're selling your tokens to make money, and if you just took that money and left, right, then that would be fine. But the fact that you're taking that money and trying to build out your protocol and make your company better, that makes you a security. So listen to what Jeremy Hogan says here. So this is spot on. What kind of twilight zone are we living in where the SEC believes a rug pull is legal? But if a company stays around and tries to fix issues with the protocol, then you better watch out, because you are breaking the law. So this is where so backwards what the SEC does. So yeah, in a rug pull, right? If a company sells all their tokens, right, and then they just take all that money and leave, that's a rug pull, right? That's what companies do all the time. So that's legal. That makes you guys not a security. So we're not going to go after that. But if the company is actually doing the right thing, and they're selling their token and then building out their protocol to make a better company and to make their product better, that's when it's illegal. That's when the SEC is going to come after you. What world do we live in? I guess they're saying, you can, scam people and leave the space, and we won't come after you. But if you actually try to, help out the community by taking their money and building out the platform that they believe in and that they've done the research in, no, that's illegal, and we're gonna sue you for that. This is where it makes no sense at all, right? Oh man, SEC, just the hypocrisy over there is unbelievable. So the next thing I want to talk about So this is Perianne DC. She is the founder of the Digital Chamber of Commerce. I've called out these crypto advocacy groups a lot in this channel, saying that whenever Bitcoin and Ethereum are being attacked, these groups are the first ones in line to stand up for those platforms or those anything involving Ethereum and Bitcoin. But when XRP is being attacked by the SEC, or the library token is being attacked by the SEC, you hear nothing from them, right? And I've had a lot to say about these groups on this channel, but I agree that when they finally do something right, I'm calling it out here too. So this was back in October 8th, 2020. This is before the lawsuit against Ripple even started. Perianne DC tweeted out, XRP is not a security. So this kind of gave us the idea maybe they help Ripple in this fight against the SEC from day one, but they have not. And to that, replying to that tweet, Matt CR tweeted out, agreed, Perianne DC. So why have you refused to speak on this subject since this tweet of yours, which was 2 months before the SEC case against Ripple was announced? Did you know something then that we didn't? Now, it is late in the game here. You guys could have stepped in a little earlier. It's been a year and 3 months now, but you got to give them some credit for finally getting involved. And it seems like they're finally becoming an amicus, basically stepping in as friends of the court on behalf of Ripple and XRP. So as much as I've been hating on the other two groups, I won't mention them, but they haven't stepped in. But at least the Chamber of Digital Commerce is finally stepping in to help out Ripple and XRP. And Perianne DC tweeted this out. This was on March 23rd. We're submitting a brief and cannot comment until the brief is filed. Even Digital Perspectives and XRP Crypto Wolf tweeted out in response, big thank you to Perianne DC and the Digital Chamber for stepping up to represent and support the position of XRP not being a security. XRP Crypto Wolf, shout out to Perianne and the Chamber of Digital Commerce for filing an amicus brief in the XRP lawsuit. So, like I said, I've been hating on these groups for a little while now because they have not stepped in. But now I finally will give you guys some credit over there at the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Better late than never, right? I know it's been a year and 3 months now, but at least they're stepping in, and I'll give them credit for that. So that is what it is, I guess. The next thing I want to talk about, XRP Crypto Wolf tweeted this out. This lawsuit with the SEC and Ripple, obviously business in the U.S. is being stalled because of this lawsuit. But, in the last year and a half, all you've seen is Ripple just spread out over the world, right? You can't have business in the U.S., so let's spend all our time trying to get all our, ducks in order around the world instead. And that's exactly what they've done. XRP Crypto Wolf tweeted this out. The Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce and the National Bank of Australia will be joining Ripple's RippleNet for international payments and settlements. So welcome this Canadian bank and Australian bank. Just add to the 400 plus banks that have joined RippleNet in the last 5 years or so. Ripple just keeps on moving forward. I know this lawsuit seems like it's been hurting them, and it has been in the US, but around the world, XRP is not a security. So they will continue on to build out their business until this lawsuit is over in the US, where they can finally go after the US market, which is obviously the biggest market in the world. But it's good to see them, they obviously don't think that they're going to lose this lawsuit with the SEC, because they just keep, moving along with business elsewhere. So just a good sign to see. And not only these two banks, look at this tweet. Crypto Eddie always giving us the updates over in Asia, especially in Japan, but in the whole Southeastern Pacific, Asia Pacific region, she's always giving us updates and the news with Ripple and SBI over there. And she tweeted out this, RippleNet buttoning up Asia Pacific region in Southeast Asia. SBI owned Lai Hour Bank in Cambodia announced RippleNet rails last May. Hooked up with Tranglo, which is a Ripple partner, this month. Lai Hour quarters include Vietnam, Japan, Thailand, Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, and South Korea. So, Ripple just keeps, moving along with business. Yeah, they have this lawsuit with the SEC in the U.S., but XRP is not a security everywhere else in the world. So it's just great to see that as much as we don't like this lawsuit in the U.S., it is not hurting their business worldwide, right? But as soon as this lawsuit is over, you're going to see serious adoption in the U.S. I think that there's no way that these companies and institutions in the U.S. aren't seeing how much Ripple is growing over around the world, right? And honestly, it's giving the U.S. companies and institutions a better idea how this technology works, and these other countries are showing, especially these U.S. companies, how the benefits of RippleNet and ODL. So, as much like I said, we don't like this lawsuit in the U.S. because it's hurting our investment. Ripple is just continuing to grow as a company around the world. So, what can you say? It will keep on growing. Ripple will keep on growing worldwide. And as soon as, like I said, this lawsuit is over in the U.S., I believe that the U.S. market will jump right on this. So I keep on saying on this channel that Ripple is going to be the biggest company in the world. I still wholeheartedly agree with that. As soon as, especially too, as they go after that U.S. market when this lawsuit is over, that really would, start to put them, seriously high up on that list of, future crypto companies that are going to take over the world, right? Because, the payments issues around the world are such a big issue, right? If anything, crypto will be, if all the crypto haters out there, there's a certain, a couple things that you can't hate on, right? And that you can't deny. The payment systems around the world are old, they're clunky, they cost money, they obviously need to change. And everybody can agree with that. And what is the company, the number one company that can change that and benefit all these banks, institutions all around the world? It is Ripple. And they know it. And they've been saying it for years, right? So we know where this is going, right? I've been researching this thing for long enough to know that as soon as basically they okay this upgrade with Swift, right? Ripple is that next option. And these companies all around the world are slowly adopting this now, right? They've been piloting this technology for years. Now you're seeing the adoption, right? 400 plus banks around the world signing up with RippleNet and ODL, utilizing XRP as that bridge currency. I'm telling you guys, a $400 trillion market. It's happening. So you better get with it, right? Not financial advice, but 75, 80 cents ain't going to last long. So that's all I'm going to say. So I'll end the video there, guys. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. But remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.